you're the expert on your child and your household. And they're really, just because it worked for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So there's a piece of this that really is trial and error. And there's nothing fancy I or any other clinician can say to you about like, oh no, I know for sure that this will work for your child. So there is a trial and error piece of this that you'll have to go through with your family. I think framework though, in terms of a foundation, know that anxiety is contagious. It is one of the very rare and unique areas of mental health in that you really can catch it from the environments that you're in, right? Taking stock of where you are at and kind of where your family system is at with anxiety, because a lot of what we do as parents absolutely fuels our own kids' anxiety. I know I do this sometimes too, and I have to catch myself as well. Probably a lot of us did it even more within the context of this pandemic because there are lots of legitimate fears to be concerned about. But think about how you might be contributing to the anxiety within your family system. And then embrace the fact that within that system, you really are one of the most powerful therapeutic tools. So keeping in mind, like, what's my tone of voice? Am I like problem solving out loud? So that even about my own anxiety, I have had many a moments in this pandemic, this working from home state, where I have snapped at one of my kids in a way that honestly, it was because I told them not to interrupt my meeting. And, you know, it was like the third interruption of the day. And I snapped at them. That was not helpful or productive. But then going back to them after the fact and saying, you know what, I'm sorry. I was really stressed out during that meeting. That's why, you know, my tone of voice isn't very kind. And I just was really impatient with you. I have my moments too. I have my coping skills that helps me get through the day, and really identifying what those are. Like, these are the things that make me feel better when I'm super anxious, like eating chocolate, going outside. These are all great examples of things that help me, right? For you, it's possible if you've got a super verbal kiddo, they might be able to say, oh yeah, these are the things that help me. Like reading my favorite novels, playing my video games, or going outside in the backyard and looking for bugs, right? There are all sorts of options. You really want to have those conversations about like, what are the coping strategies, and make it clear to them that you need coping strategies too, because you have your moments as well. Consistency and predictability is also quite important, with flexibility, which I know that sounds like, where is the balance, right? The balance is when it's possible to give options, give them. Because if you have a highly intense, highly emotional profile, there tends to also be a high need for control. If it really doesn't matter what order they get their homework done in, give them options, let them choose. Tell them it's like an experiment. Let's see what it's like to do your math homework first before you do your other things. And you can treat it more as like an experiment, like, let's try this out. Or if they don't have to do 3 extracurriculars, give them a choice and say, you know what, we still want you to like get practice socializing with your peers, like, so pick 2. And then as much as possible, having like a calming space at home that is user-friendly for your particularly intense child. A lot of like sensory, you might have a child who has lots of sensory-driven behaviors, and they might want specific things for that calming space, whether it be like a weighted blanket or tons of fidgets, or, you know, a place to play music or things like that. So keep all of those. Those are all potential strategies to deal with an anxious child. And then keeping in mind that, generally speaking, when behavioral supports can be done in a positive way, the better.